Hi guys, it's Igor from Atomic Car Review, and today we are doing not really review. Today we're gonna do some modification and repair of my own car. It's 2005 Jaguar Super V8. It's exactly the same engine as has 2005 Jaguar XJR. I'm talking about 4.2 liter V8 with a supercharger. And problem with this car, because recently I was installed on this car a smaller supercharger pulley which could increase horsepower up to 20%, which you can expect right now from 400 until 440, but I don't know if it's true or no, but at least I really feel this car start to be quicker. But problem that pretty soon after this my two electric water pumps went out. First of all, it was water pump for heating system. After this it was water pump for supercharger. To clarify something, you should understand the XJR and Super V8 has three water pumps. Two of them electric one, and one of them is mechanical. Mechanical is to cool down your engine. Electric one, big one, is to cool down your supercharger. And another one, small one, electric one, is to bring hot water to heating elements in your interior to keep your heating on normal level during the winter time. I'm not gonna install just regular water pump for this supercharger. I'm gonna install high performance from ZZ Performance brand. They said that it's more powerful, and accordingly to numbers yes, but be careful, it's not, they put different numbers on performance. They didn't put gallons, they put liters. That's why you think it's so good and so powerful, but no, it's more powerful than standard one, but not the same one. But why I like this brand? Because they send you all together brackets and also send you all together with harness, which you don't have to buy it separate. And another idea which we would like to try to solve today is separate your cooling system for supercharger from engine. To be honest, the engine bay is pretty tight. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but we will try. Stay focused. The reason to do this separation, because usually your coolant temperature in engine around, I would say around 80-100 degrees of Celsius, but it's not really nice for superchargers. Superchargers want to be cold as possible, and I want to separate this coolant system, install completely separate coolant system for supercharger, maybe with the ice-filled expansion tank. In this case, we can increase the amount of air which you're gonna get inside this engine, and after this we're not gonna even fix car, we even increase horsepower. To do this kind of job, you need to remove front bumper, and because we're doing this, we're also gonna play a little bit with the washer pump for headlights, because it's broken, and right now we have access to this. We can do this easier, but again, don't worry about this water pump. You can replace water pump for headlight even through the right fender liner. To take bumper off, what first we're supposed to do? First of all, we're supposed to remove this plastic cover and grill. To remove plastic cover, we need to take all these clips out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is original one, this one is not. To remove original one, what you can do is just unscrew them a little bit, then you see the gap, and then just pull it out. To remove not original one, you need to pull center part up and remove it. To pull all clips on these cars, better have something like this tool. It's like clip puller, but if you don't have it, don't worry, I think you can solve this problem just with regular screwdriver. Little bit pull on front, and be careful next to this windshield washer reservoir, like this. It's done. For upper screw, you will need it Torx number 30. After this, you need to remove two of these plastic pieces which probably correct airflow. One of the on the left side another one on the right side. Then you need to pull upper part of the grill a little bit up to remove this from this bracket. Also you need to press and move this part. It's a clip, you press it and pull out. The same on other side. For better access to each side of the bumper, I remove tires on each side, but it's not necessary. You can do this even with the tires. And right now I need to remove two of these bolts by 10mm socket. One clip here, another one over here, and 10mm nut in this area. But on your car it could be different, because I bought this car used one, and maybe hardware could be different, but attach point still the same. And the same procedure you can do on other side. Sometimes it's really hard to remove clips like this design, but if you have access to compressed air, you can blow air to this point. In this case you're gonna pull out all sand and clips would be removed much easier. To get access from the bottom, you need to replace or take it out all these bolts. It's on my car it's 8mm, I believe on original equipment it's 10. It's 7 of them, and 2 spots over here. Mine is 13mm, but yours could be different because car is old. Okay, after we removed this bottom mud shield under the front bumper, we finally see this pump which you need to replace it. And you see, maybe even possible to do this just removing this cap, but probably something on the top. That's the reason why they tell that you need to replace bumper. Also, you see, if you're gonna replace this radiator for Supercharger for some bigger size, maybe you would be able even to increase also horsepower. To remove bumper, you need to remove this connector from water pump for headlights, and also disconnect this connector. Rest is fine. To disconnect this connector, all you need to do is just press here and pull each part on other sides. To take bumper out, you need to little bit unfold this piece of bumper outside and then slide on front. Just in case, I'm gonna add a link for one more video where some guy took from bumper out from XJ. Maybe this video will be also like very informative for you. That's the points where this bumper is located. 1, 2, 3. For easy installation, I usually also put over here liquid silicone. Of course, when you're gonna do any job with a cooling system, you need to drain it. The draining points over here, you see it's from where it's gonna be all coolant goes out. And also don't forget to take out the cap on expansion reservoir. Extension by 1/4 ratchet and 8mm socket to unscrew upper bracket of water pump. Okay, we drained through the outer point on radiator on the left side on the bottom. Right now, time to drain through the lower hose on water pump. The lower hose we disconnect already. Right now the turn off upper one. After you disconnect all hoses, you can pull the pump on the bottom. And now you're gonna install with some bracket modification high output water pump by ZZ Performance. According to ZZ Performance, output of this pump is 35 liters per minute or maximum 38. If I could remember, original from Jaguar is around 5 or 7 gallons per minute, and definitely smaller. But also what's the difference, you can see as it's a output hose and inputs on Jaguar, and that's on a ZZ Performance. It's definitely bigger, as you can see. That's probably one of the reasons how they get this output. And also you see motor on ZZ Performance is bigger compared to Hella. Hopefully it would give some reliability and more horsepower. The way how you're gonna modify your brackets to fit your performance water pump is, I would say, your choice, but I did like this. You see, it's opposite side of clamp. Bottom one I just cut it like circle. Right now it's not gonna stay straight, but at least it's gonna reduce some vibration in case of it. Original clamp, I would say it's not gonna fit for this design, but you can try. Again, it's all your fantasy how you're gonna do this, and good luck. As you can see, connectors and harness on original one and high performance different. That's why I ordered this water pump together with a connector and bracket. And what I want to do, I just want to cut it from original one and attach to this one by the shrink and wire connector. And after this, everything's supposed to work. If you forget where is positive, where is a negative contact, on the pump side, brown and black, it's negative next to the clip on the clamp. Red and black, which is easy to understand, positive. On the car side, it's brown and green, it's positive, black one is negative. On pump side, you see it's plus positive and minus negative contact. In this case, you can easily understand which one is which when you're gonna connect your clamp. Connects newly made harness to connector. It's over here. See this blue one? That's where we're gonna connect. We're going to put water pump back. Don't forget to put lower water hose. I prefer to put liquid silicone for any outlet where I'm gonna attach hoses, because in this case it's easy to remove next time, but it's kind of dangerous. I would say I'm not recommend to do this, but for me as a mechanic it's like much better, and again I never have bad experience with this. To reduce vibration, I put 2 wire tie over here because lower rubber bracket was modified, and maybe it vibrates a little bit more right now, but to be honest, when you install lower hose it will come off right away, but just in case this wire tie was installed. Be careful during installation of upper hose because it could touch the bumper. In this case it's gonna rub and could make hole in the future. Just check if it's not gonna touch surfaces on the body of the car, or at least as less as possible, or try to put something secure. In my case, everything looks fine. Right now we're gonna connect upper hose of radiator, which called down supercharger, to expansion tank, and this is how we're gonna make this system colder. We're gonna take this hose out, you see over here, and connect them to new expansion tank, but these two, this one and previous one, we just connect to each other and put it back to old expansion tank. As an expansion tank for supercharger system, I'm gonna use a filler tank for 2015 Ford Transit for power steering system. For easier access to supercharger hoses, I'm gonna remove right now temporary upper hose for radiator. To make everything easier, I'm gonna disconnect this hose from rear heater, this is over here, and disconnect them from rear heater pump, or for heating system pump. It's over here. And of course, I'm gonna do this right here next to the upper hose for radiator for supercharger system. In this case, it would be much easier for me to put everything together. This is the hose from upper part of radiator of supercharger. We're gonna disconnect them over here and connect to expansion reservoir. This part will leave exactly the same. We're just gonna put some probably copper pipe or maybe some plastic pipe and connect them each other. Looks like everything ready to set up. Just need to put maybe silicone over here for easy installation. As you can see, return hose I attach also to the expansion reservoir. It's here. This is a hose from which is going to top of a radiator. I connect them to through the copper pipe for your home plumbing. Put some clamps over here. Maybe it doesn't look like too fancy, but at least I always have options to return, because to like original manufacturer setup, because I didn't destroy any connector, any clamp from manufacturer. Over here on the original expansion reservoir, I put something like plug over here. You see, also to be able, in case some emergency, return everything back. Let's reduce diameters pulley for supercharger. You see, I need to even cut a little bit of the body to be able to put it in. As I promised, 40 horsepower. Also for additional horsepower, I have like sports air filter. To install expansion reservoir, I used original bracket from Ford Transit, just little bit bent this part, and also I use original bolt which hold ABS pump. You see, everything looks pretty fancy. Maybe just need to cut this bracket on the top. I think to hold just small piece would be enough. Looks like everything ready. Right now we're gonna check. We're gonna fill it with coolant separately, supercharger system, and separately engine coolant system. To fill supercharger, I'm gonna use this upper point. This 2 bleeders from each intercooler. This bleeder for engine cooling system. Okay, looks like everything ready. Right now I would like to take this car for a ride. I'm gonna take it home, and when I'm gonna be home I will check what kind of temperature would be in the coolant for engine and coolant for supercharger. Right now we will check if all what we did is working. I just drove this car for more than 30 minutes on highway with usually around 70 miles per hour. Do some shopping around the town right now. And temperature right now outside is 81 degree. You see even my thermometer is showing like almost 81. And right now we would like to check what's the temperature in coolant system for engine and in coolant system for supercharger. Okay, first of all let's check temperature for supercharger. I would say 135 degree of Fahrenheit, 136, but right now it's moved very slow. I would say yeah it's stuck, 136. Let's check engine. You see, never do this when engine is hot, but I believe everything's supposed to be fine. Okay, and almost 187, 186 and 8. But I think right now it's time to biggest point. If I feel any change, yes, I would say it's not something catastrophic, not hysterical, but it's really feel, especially when you're driving on highway for a long time. I would say maybe I'm not gonna feel that engine start to be more powerful. For example, when you start the Jaguar when it's really cold, you feel that the engine really has some power. When you drive it, you feel that right now it's not the same as you just start the engine. But it's definitely better than it was before. Thank you everyone who watched this video. I hope it was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.